Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Ukrainian guide Elena, and in this video I want you to know what had happened in Ukraine today and what people in Ukraine feel about it.
Это кошмар какой-то.
There was a massive missiles attack on Ukraine from various directions. So Russia launched 69 missiles into Ukraine and 54 of them were knocked down successfully. It's a great number, but still some of these missiles, they hit the critical infrastructure and many people were without light, without electricity and heating because of it. There were also several people injured in Kiev. Among them was a 14-year-old girl. Imagine how much traumatized she will be and how much traumatized are all people and especially children who stay in Ukraine all of this time. Russia attacked not the front lines, but Russia as a terrorist state attacked civilians and critical infrastructure. And this happened in the early morning, 6 a.m. All regions of Ukraine became red, which means the air raid siren was on in all of these regions, all over Ukraine. And Russia bombed many cities, Kiev, Odessa, Dnipro, Kharkiv, even Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk region in the west that were supposed to be relatively safe places, even these places were under attack. It started happening at 6 a.m. when many people were still sleeping. They woke up because of loud explosions before the alarm clock woke them up. Just imagine your children waking up because of the loud explosion, rushing to your bed, saying, "Mom, I'm scared." And what do you feel?
Well, we were in bed because we were driving all night. It came pretty late, and I have a 7-year-old.
Christina Katrakis. She just came back from the east of Ukraine where she was distributing power banks and clothes and hygiene products, some essential goods to people who live close to the front lines and on the newly liberated territories. So she just came back yesterday, back to Kiev with her 7-year-old son.
So the 7-year-old just ran into our bed scared and said, "Mama, Daddy, I'm scared," because there were like explosions. We were not even prepared for this. It came in waves. So his first wave was at around 8. And then the other wave started around 9, and we were notified that the new airplanes are, ready to attack. And so by then we came down and we were all together. But, that's the kind of thing they like to do early in the morning when people are going to work. You've probably seen the results of Ukrainian subways. Kiev subways today were pretty horrifying, because people were all jammed up, and there were also some electrical problems in the subways, which made it even worse. They find the time and the moment when kids are going to school, when kids are in the kindergarten, when people are going to work, when students are going to study in the university, and throw it just right there, so you could kill the kids, you could kill the students, you could kill the innocent people going to work on Monday or Thursday, doesn't matter. And that's the tactic. If that's not terrorism, if that's not something that must be stopped, then I don't know what is, really.
And now we know that there were no massive deaths, no massive destructions, and Ukrainian air defense system worked pretty well. But when it's all happening, you hope for it. Yeah, you believe it. You believe in the armed forces of Ukraine, and you hope secretly that maybe our international partners already gave us something super cool and powerful to protect ourselves, some defense system. You hope for it. And you also hope that this time I will survive, my children will survive, my parents will survive, my friends will survive, and everything will be fine. It will not be me.
I know that these people are determined to do as much as possible by New Year, because Mr. Putin has to present something to his people for New Year. So far, it's just losses at the front line, and let's bomb them as much as we can, because that's all we can do.
About myself, I want to say that even though I am in a safe place with my children, I was feeling like I'm there. I couldn't fall asleep till 6 a.m. in the morning, because when it was morning over there, it was night here. And I was, messaging to my sister, trying to encourage her. But I think she encouraged me more than I encouraged her. And yeah, it was awful. The feeling is like it's happening, like the next, streets. It's on the same planet. It's in my country. It was feeling like it's happening to me too, and I felt this fear and pain, and rage too, and despair that it's happening. And you know that it will happen. It will happen again and again and again. And I have the same question: how long and what has to, happen for the world to do something really, really, exact and stop it, but not just, yeah, sometimes it feels like being a part of reality show, really.
Amen. It's like, we're preaching to the choir because we are the choir. But, I don't get tired saying and asking the same question because nobody can answer me that question. And sometimes I have some networks just shut me down in the middle of a live interview because I say that, and I say that again and again, and I will not tire saying that. How can you watch us die?
Today, when this massive attack was happening, there was information from our officials that Russia plans to launch twice more missiles than it did. Not 69, but 120. But for some reason it didn't, and probably this reason, this is just my guess, is some Bavovna, something that happened in Russia. The military airfield was damaged by something that Ukraine do not officially recognizes, but looks like it's our job. And this is why the local airplane simply couldn't fly and launch more missiles towards Ukraine. The reaction of Russians, а нас-то за что? They feel absolutely unpunished. Like, it's not about us, it's okay to kill Ukrainians, but no, it's not okay to kill Russians. No, you can't, because you will provoke us. Let me tell you, the airfield in Russia was bombed today, and there will be no special response for this, simply because Russia cannot do more than it already does. And Ukraine already did it before, damaged some airfields, and on the occupied territory of Crimea that belongs to Ukraine and temporarily occupied by Russia, and even on the territories that belong to Russia, and they will belong to Russia forever because we do not need their territories. But this happened before, and Russians do not even recognize that it was attack from Ukraine, because if they recognize it, they have to, to show on TV their power, to destroy Ukraine like this. The reason why they don't do like this is simply because they can't. They cannot do this. What they can do is terrorizing. This is terrorism. They target civilians, critical infrastructure. They cannot win our army so far. They cannot win, progress on the front lines. So what they do, they are terrorizing the civil population of Ukraine, because for them, for their propaganda machine, every Ukrainian is a bad Russian. And because of this, every Ukrainian who doesn't want to become a good Russian, who wants to stay a good Ukrainian, just Ukrainian, is not a human being and deserve to die. And this is not Nazi, this is Russism. This is the new phenomenon. But of course we can find some similarities with Nazi times, right?
If you think that World War III hasn't begun, you're wrong, man. You should have studied your history. It began when Russia invaded Ukraine, just as Nazis have invaded Poland. And everybody was sitting and watching and doing nothing until Pearl Harbor happened. So let's not wait for second Pearl Harbor. Let's not wait for 9/11, because the players in this game can do anything. I mean, we have Russia, we have China, we have Iran, and North Korea. So from these people, you can expect anything, and US is not safe as well. So my point, are you a real friend? Are you going to come and show your love, show your comrading spirit, and stand shoulder to shoulder and make a statement that you're for democracy, that you're for light, and help us defend the world, not just watch us die defending the rest of the world? I say that again and again, and I will not tire saying that. How can you watch us die? That's my question. And do nothing, and do nothing.
Well, they do something. they do something and they are proud of this. America is like spending billions of dollars on this, and they feel offended. You know, I lost a lot of subscribers after my interview to CNN because they feel offended that like we are so ungrateful. This we spend so much money on you, and you still, you know, do not say thank you. You say it's not enough. But it's not enough. It's not enough, not because America is doing little. It's not enough because Russia is doing much more.
You know, my point is, who's saying thank you to Ukraine for shielding the world with their own lives, with lives of our own children? You know, if you want to act, if you want to help, you come in and you help. You know, you because that's something, you know. Maybe this allegory is like far-fetched, but let me make it, okay? If you have a child, you can buy a new toy, you can buy a new game, you can buy a book, you can buy clothing, you can give a child money, but it will not buy love. You know what I'm saying? If you want to really show that you're together, to show that love, you go and you play with that child. You go and you stand shoulder to shoulder with that child and spend time with that child, actually doing the same thing the child is doing. You know, that's how you show love and care for your child. And, you know, and that's the same in any relationships, adult relationships, women and men, friends, right? And if you call yourself a friend, you go and fight shoulder to shoulder like you did in World War II.
Even though I am right now with my children, with my family, I'm in a safe place across the ocean in the United States of America. I was living through this attack together with my people in Ukraine. It was feeling like I'm in a basement and the attack is happening just here too, like I was in Ukraine. Of course, you cannot compare the feelings when you are there under the attack and when you're here after the attack. But my body still feels the fear and despair, and also I feel helpless that I cannot stop it and that it keeps happening, and I know that it will happen again because the world is doing a lot to stop Russia, but unfortunately looks like Russia is doing more than the world. This is why Russia keeps committing its war crimes and genocide. I was also reading the chat of my friends, the mothers of kids who played with Katya and Taras when we were in Kiev, like our neighbors basically. And one of them, Natala, hello, I admire you. She just put her makeup on, put her golden jacket on, took her husband, her child, and they went to a club for a holiday, for a concert for children, and they had fun. I don't know, this having fun and smile, it's through the tears, because you see your child so happy, but you know in what dangerous place your child is. And there are reasons for people who stay in Ukraine to stay in Ukraine, not leave Ukraine. We do not judge each other. People who left, people who stay, each of us has a reason, you know, to do what you do. But what I'm telling is that people do not give up. The spirit is still high, and we still have hope and determination to win. But it would be great if the world helps us more to win faster and prevent more destruction and more deaths, because pretty a lot in Ukraine is already destroyed and pretty many people are already dead, and it will not stop by itself. Russia will stop only when we make it stop. If it is not stopped, if it is not punished, they will keep destroying and they will keep killing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. Please let me know what you think about this kind of videos. Do you need my opinion at all? If you like it, please press the like button and let me know in the comments what you think about it all. Okay, love and hugs and peace to you all. Light will prevail. Stay strong. Don't give up. Never give up. Be strong like Ukraine. Goodbye. Slava Ukraini!